pueden escuchar o si todo está bien. Ok, so, que Dios me les bendiga. Aquí estamos a punto de empezar nuestro show y espero que sea para bendición de ustedes. Ok, que Dios les bendiga mucho y aquí estaremos por las próximas horas. Okay, so you let me know if you can hear me okay. Just let me know. Let me know how you can hear us. Déjenme saber si me están escuchando bien para saber que no estemos hablando por las próximas 2 horas. So, puede dejarnos sus preguntas, sus comentarios. Just holler at us. Leave us your comments. Leave us your questions. Okay. Que Dios les bendiga mucho y estamos a punto de empezar nuestro show.
How's everybody doing? Diaries of a Pastor's Wife. We are live. How is everybody? So glad to be here. And we're going to start this show. Get you guys in. We would love to hear your comments, questions, anything that's on your mind. Tune in. You can type your questions. We'll make sure that everybody's able to read those. And we'll try to address any questions that you guys will have. And please, because last time we did it, it was awesome. And we had a wonderful conversation. So make sure you guys, come on, join us. Let's get some good stuff going. All right.
Amen, amen. LP, can you say hi?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
We are ready. Here is the information where you can contact us. That is the email right there. Aquí está la dirección de correo.
How you doing? I'm gonna get the rest of the crew in. There's LP.
Hello.
And Excited coming around. Shout out to y'all. How's everybody doing? We are excited. We want to hear you guys' questions today. LP, you gonna wave again?
Hi, everybody. It's exciting to be here, and it's not the end of the month.
Amen.
And there's Blue.
Woo-hoo!
So we want you guys to come up with some great questions to ask. Last time we had so much fun.
Amen.
I feel like y'all see my big face.
That's how I feel too. Hello, hello.
Oh man. All right, we get ready to get started. We are live, and this is Diaries of a Pastor's Wife.
Amen.
Hi, son. And we are definitely going to be taking questions from you guys. If you guys would like to type your question, and we'll discuss it on the radio because we are live.
In the house.
All right, y'all. This is my son. That's my baby. All right, you guys. So we are blessed because we made it to Maryland in record time with Sister Blue driving Miss Daisy. But I was napping because I worked so hard.
Yes. Lady Jen was taking a nap.
That's right.
No, she was proofreading things.
With my eyes shut.
Subconsciously.
Hello,
so we are here at Wmskonlineradio in the studio, and we are live. Hopefully, we will have a surprise guest joining us, but I don't know since we showed up last minute. All right, y'all. But hey, Roberto! Oh, your kids! They say hello, Mom.
Hey, hello, guys. Where's my babies? Where's like I want a hello, girl?
So y'all bear with us. Ladies, make sure y'all make eye contact is on y'all. Well, it's on Leela, LP, and Excited.
Hello, I need to make sure I do. Say hi. Why am I seeing you?
Because it's on you.
Oh, hi. Hey, everybody.
She said, why am I seeing me?
Now there's next item is you.
Déjenme saber cómo nos estamos escuchando. ¿Está bien?
And we bilingual up in here.
We're bilingual up in here, okay? So si nos estamos escuchando bien, si nos estamos escuchando bien, déjenos saber.
Sí.
All right, so we have a wonderful event that is coming up, and then we are excited to make sure that we can join in. And it is actually the annual 50 Shades of Blue conference, and it's for women who experience violence. You know, and I think that it's a very important. He said Auntie Lita was never on it.
Hi, Solera the third.
All right, y'all.
That's Lady Jen right there.
That's right. So we going live.
Lady Jen, say hi.
All right, you guys. So welcome to Diaries of a Pastor's Wife here at WMSK Online Radio, where talk radio just got better, home of Cheryl Underwood Radio. So make sure you guys tune in for the 4th annual 50 Shades of Blue conference. We're doing it again. Lady Blue, in conjunction with WMSKOnlineradio.com, presents the 4th annual 50 Shades of Blue Domestic Violence Awareness Conference. Join us as we step up and continue the fight against intimate partner violence. Experience this powerful event on October the 20th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Furley Recreational Center, 4633 Furley Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland. We have our own Dr. Eric Holmes, author of Power of the Seed, and we have Lady Yvette of Lady Yvette Ministries. And they are going to be two of the guest speakers that will actually be there. Yeah, and there's a whole host of them. I'm excited. Diaries of a Pastor's Wife team, we will be there. We'll be live. We'll be doing interviews. All right, you guys. So they're going to have a host of other dynamic speakers, amazing local entertainment. They're going to have giveaways, vendors, workshops, food, and loads of fun. So you guys want to get your tickets. There will be wheelchair accessibility, ample parking, and even a playground for the kids. What are you guys waiting on? All right, make sure you guys go get your tickets. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Just search for 4th Annual 50 Shades of Blue, Baltimore, or click the flyer on the WMSKOnlineradio.com website. Children 6 and under get in free with a paying adult or student ages 7 through 17. You must have a ticket to enter the event. Group rates are available. If you guys have any questions or need more information on sponsorship opportunities, please email 50shadesofbluebaltimore@gmail.com. 50shadesofbluebaltimore@gmail.com. See you there. All right, you guys. So I'm excited.
Now in Spanish.
Hola, ¿cómo está? That's all I can do.
No, you can do more. What was the one that you said?
Hi, Diane. How you doing?
What was the Gloria?
Gloria a Dios.
Amen.
That's my Spanish for today.
Sí.
Pollo.
Sí.
Pollo. Pollo. That's it. That's all I can say. Pollo.
Hey, I got 2 words.
All right. Son, I don't know what you're doing on there. All right. So we are just grateful to be here. We're grateful to be together again. We want to speak honestly. So I have these 2 ladies here. I have LP Brown and I have Nexida. We call her Sister Blue. But they keep me in check and they hold me accountable. And I think that's important, especially on this walk with Christ. You know, to be accountable and to make sure that you are doing what God is actually calling for you to do.
Yes.
But the thing is that I am a pastor's wife, but I want to make sure you guys know I am relatable. I go through stuff and I'm not going to sit up and act like, you know, my poop don't stink and that I flow on water. I don't walk on nobody's water, you know, but I like to make sure to keep it real to give other people hope. It seems like it's like a stigma out there. There are a lot of pastors' wives like, oh, they're so quiet and docile, or oh, they're so loud and overbearing and mean, or you know what I mean? It's like, I think you run the gamut from the different things. And I don't want anybody ever coming up to me with a title saying, oh, First Lady, no. I'm just Sister Joy, you know what I mean? And I think that we need to take down the stigma because when you are in Christ, it's not about your titles.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, LP, you with me? Are you here, LP?
I'm with you. Amen.
And I think a lot of people get stuck on titles. So I kind of wanted to discuss that. I think that we need to keep in mind what God feels is important. When we meet our Heavenly Father face to face, he ain't gonna call me, oh, First Lady, nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
all these apostles and you know what I mean, and
Right.
all these titles that you have, that's not what God is looking. He's looking at the inside. So I think that we need to better represent Christ. We need to shake down and get to that foundation of understanding who God is and getting immersed into the Word,
Yes.
rather than into all this dogma where we just worry about, how you look on the outside,
Right.
but what's going on the inside.
That's
And
important.
yeah, and I think that we tend to, I think we're at an age and time now where we tend to make a lot of excuses. You know what I mean? We make a lot of excuses. We don't want to be held accountable for anything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, come on, what is God thinking about our actions?
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like, so at what point do we humble down? To be a servant of God is to serve. When you have to look at that root word. And that's what I look at, and my husband looks at. We are here to serve. We're not better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, we're going to try to get lower than everybody else to make sure everybody gets what they need.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put people up on a pedestal.
Right.
Man will fail you.
That's right.
Whereas God won't.
That's right.
So those are some of the things that I think that are really important to talk about. And I think that the church, if you talk about the four walls, has lost focus.
Right.
They're more worried about what they can do or how they're seen rather than getting out on the streets and touching the people.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of that has been lost. And so what do y'all think? What y'all, I'm not going to keep yapping and y'all not.
Well, Jim, what you're saying it's true. And a lot of the titles and the things that are given to people, especially biblically or in the Bible,
Mhm.
they are duties. They don't have anything to do with robes, pope hats, anything, any outward thing. It has something to do with a spiritual calling and something that you're supposed to be called to do. And in those duties, you are for instance, a bishop.
Hi, Kim.
You are overseeing other pastors and ministers in the gospel, and you are helping be their counselor and their shepherd and guide. And as far as apostle, lately there's a lot of people that say that they are apostles. There are true apostles that have ministries, and they are establishing ministries in other countries. But we also are apostles, which means we are messengers of Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and that we don't have to be crowned or knighted,
Right.
but that we are to go out and spread the gospel.
Right.
So that's important, not to be caught up in titles. I could just call me Leela Brown. I don't have to be Sister Brown. I don't have to be Minister Brown. I don't have to be Reverend Brown.
Or can we call
Or
you
you
LP?
can call me
LP, Brown.
My radio host name, LP.
What you want to say, Blue? We know you're not quiet.
Amen. Whatever she say, I agree.
That LP, I think that means she tuned you out.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's just on these days, like people really get stuck on titles and they forget that we're just human.
Right.
Yes.
And then, we go to trials and tribulations,
Right.
and we get tested like everybody else.
Yeah.
And we are right here just striving, to make it to heaven.
Yeah.
To trying to be a better human being.
Right.
To trying to be more like Jesus and less like us.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
People expect us to be perfect, or just everything in us to be just all right.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And there are some areas on us that we be like, I need some help in
Yeah.
this area.
Yeah.
And I think that is what make this show really special. That we try to let people know we are not perfect.
Absolutely.
We're humans,
Yeah.
just like everybody else.
Right.
And with the difference that we know where is our strength.
Yes.
And we lift each other up.
Right. Yes.
I think the body of Christ in general, no matter the race or economic bank accounts, numbers, or whatever, we tend to bring people down. And we forget that we are right here to build, not to destroy.
Yes.
We are right here to lift people up.
Right.
You know, and if I'm a little higher than you in anything, I'm supposed to just reach out and just try to pull you up instead of stomping on you.
Right.
You know, like the body of Christ sometimes is so judgmental.
Yeah.
They forget to just look at people's good sides instead of looking at what they're doing wrong or what they have done wrong.
Right.
You know, and I am glad that God don't look at us like that.
You're right.
I am glad, you know, that the Lord look at the end of what we already have done in our life instead of focusing like, oh yeah, her bangs are a little crooked.
Shade.
Yeah, like I don't like that laugh.
Or she has too much makeup on.
Right, you know, so
or her dress is too short, her dress is too long, her pants
you know, so I really, really, really appreciate the fact that, you know, that we are trying to let people know that we don't have it all together, but we will let the Lord get the glory of the things that we are trying to do right for Him.
Right.
And, you know, and then we strive.
Yes.
We strive. How you say?
Yeah, you said
We strive, you know, to do better.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not justifying, you know, our flaws, or we're not justifying, you know, that we're going to go and commit sin later because, you know, we're justified. No, we are just saying we're humans.
Right.
You know, we fail like everybody else. We just know where our strength comes from, and we focus in this show and in our personal life just to lift people up and to build people up instead of destroying people just because they believe different than us, or because they think different than us, or because they sound different than us, or even because they look different than us.
Right.
That is not what we're trying to do here. And, you know, to God be the glory for us keeping it real.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And she said a lot in a little bit of time, right?
You should have given me a microphone.
That's funny. All right, so let me ask this. So, I think that what is it that people see in pastors' wives? And I this is what I'm saying. Everybody I think has experienced different relationships with pastors' wives, right? Mm-hmm. What are some of the worst things that you guys have experienced, and what's some of the best things that you have experienced?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Because I think some people's mean. Some of the pastors' wives is mean. Mean.
Yes.
You know, and
or they come off as unrelatable. They come off as untouchable.
Man, you're stealing my words. Come on now.
They're not approachable.
Okay.
Or their children are angels. Their children can do no harm.
What?
If you report that somebody has done something, oh, not my child.
Right.
My child doesn't lie. We had an experience like that.
I can switch my camera.
And it was like almost like my neck wanted to flip. What?
Wait a minute, how you flipping that?
How we flip
that, y'all?
Anybody know how you flipping that?
How you flipping that?
I think she thinks
chicken.
almost break your neck because
y'all pray for LP. She's not fully black, so she know how to flip her neck and roll her eyes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is not nice.
That's true, right?
It's not nice.
It's true. We had to give her lessons, Blue.
Yeah, but you know what she's saying is really, really something that I feel sometimes. Let me just say this.
Go ahead.
I have two first ladies in my life that have broke all the rules, and they have broke every stereotype that I have experienced before.
Okay.
Ladies, that they're the pastor's wife, I have seen, with the exception of these two, okay, I have seen that it's like you cannot approach them.
Okay.
Like they're not approachable.
Right.
Like you get like intimidated, and not in a good way that that they scare you, but it's like, oh, that's the pastor's wife. I don't even gonna say this because I don't know, like they don't project themselves like they're real. Like like you said, your poop stink just like mine.
Yes,
and oh my God, I'm the pastor's wife. I cannot say that. You know what I mean? Like, but it's true.
Right.
You go to the bathroom just like me.
I need poopery too.
You know what I mean? It's like
Poopery is good for everyone.
I know that's right. So it seems like the pastor's wife or the first family of the pastor's family, like they're all saints.
Right.
Yeah, like they're all saints, like they all got it together.
Right.
God forgive the pastor's kids act fool or foolish because the whole world want to break them pieces.
Oh, look, wait a minute. We got something up here on our YouTube from
What's that?
Mommy. Hi, Mom. She said, "Is the student more than the teacher?"
Ooh,
wow.
Yes, she wants.
She go deep.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So Facebook Live, we have a question. It says, "Is the student more than the teacher?" So now I think that's excellent because to me, the student is more important. And I'm saying this in a way than the teacher because the teacher is imparting into the student, right?
Right.
So it's for after the teacher has taught what they are able to teach and they have been able to pour in all that they're capable of, then the next thing is that student is supposed to surpass the teacher. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all agree? You don't agree?
I agree.
I think almost even if you think about parents, I think some parents don't want their kids to surpass them. It's like they want to hold them down, right?
Jealousy.
So,
Jealousy
jealousy or
bad.
power.
If you don't want your children to surpass you.
But I think
it
you see a lot
happens.
of that, right?
It happens.
You see a lot of
It
that.
happens.
But I think that even if you take that and you put that into some of our churches, you have a lot of maybe leaders that don't want to build up the next generation to lead.
Okay.
So where does that leave you?
Yes.
Who's left?
Yes, they're holding on to their positions,
Right.
and they're holding on to their titles, like holding on for dear life. And if you hold those positions, how are you? Just like Miss Joanne was saying, if you're holding on to everything and you're not sharing, you're not giving, you're not training that next person.
Right. You're supposed to pour in.
Yes.
Jesus didn't come here and just make it all about him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was constantly teaching and pouring in
into the
so that
disciples.
we could get it. You
Right.
know?
Right.
And I think that it seems like a lot of people have left that because they enjoy the power. Do you know what I mean? Of saying that I'm over top of you. I'm the head. So what about those that you're supposed to be feeding you? Well, you're supposed to be lower
Right.
than everybody else.
And you
know what I
said
mean?
something earlier, when you are elevated to a position in ministry,
Right.
and actually when you are elevated to a position in business, in the corporate world, you take on more duties. You take on more responsibilities. A lot of people look at in the corporate world, oh, I get more money, I get more freedom. No, you don't.
Right.
You become more responsible of that unit or of that company or that department. And just in ministry, you are taking on people, their problems, making sure they're getting the word. Are they being fed?
Right.
Are you breaking it down? Can they understand it? So it's you're being positioned into greater servitude. So it's interesting. A lot of times he says, I see services going on saying elevation services.
Right.
When it's really an ordination into greater servitude.
Right. People don't understand the responsibilities that come with that.
Yes.
You know, it's not all, and I think it's not glitz and glamour.
It's not.
You know, it's a lot of responsibility, and I don't think people understand that.
And even when it comes to
she's back again, maybe
even when it comes to singing, ministry, going out, just think about Lady Jim and I used to be with the group. What was it?
Which one? We had several of them.
The first one.
Christian Mafia.
That's right.
We had a younger group, Christian Mafia, then we were Sound, and all the rehearsing, all the singing, all the preparation. When you have to sing behind national artists, all the practice that goes in, all the rushing from work, bringing your children, rehearsing. Like when we work with like Donnie McClurkin, Ron Winans when he was alive. We opened several times for Tone, who is now B. Slade. And I mean, people come and they're just fascinated with the glory of, I want to sing, I want to be on stage.
Right, but they don't want to put in their work.
You don't want to be there at
12
midnight when the artist comes in and says, okay, we're rehearsing for 2 hours.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so that's still a lot. It's a lot of servitude, or it's a lot of humility, a lot of work, a lot of practice.
Right.
When it comes to working in ministry, or even singing in ministry, or even gospel entertainment.
I totally agree. Hey, Auntie Maggie.
Hey.
All right. So before I want to get this out before we actually go to break.
Okay.
I want you guys, when we come back from break, we're going to talk about, and if you guys have any comments or questions on Facebook Live or on YouTube, reach out, send us your questions. But the relationship between the pastor's wife and the congregation, what impact does that have on the people? And I think I want to discuss that.
Okay.
Then I also want to discuss we as women who follow Christ and we get into relationships, right? I think the jealousy or the selfishness or us always putting ourselves down.
Yes.
And then I think that hampers who we are and the work that needs to be done.
Yes.
And I'm talking about myself first. You know what I mean? I'm putting myself out there like, you know, I know that there's times like I look at myself like, oh my Lord, I'm supposed to do what? You know, and it's like I'm not good enough. And, you know, I think that there's something like, I don't know what it is, but it seems like when you really get into church, and if you get in the right one, I think it's fine. But if you get into the wrong one, it's like you question everything about yourself. Like you have no confidence in who you are or who God is making you to be.
Right.
And I think that sometimes you take a long time to get where you need to be because you're battling with God, what God is calling you to do.
Yes.
But then you're looking at man.
Right.
You know, and it seems like man, there's always a stumbling block for you to actually be who you were supposed to be, because you take your eyes off of God and we start interacting with man.
And that's so,
you know, and I know you have to interact with man. Like, you know, you can't just put me up on a mountain and I just sit there, Lord, till you come. You know, and I ain't learning nothing with that, right? You know what I mean?
It'd be nice, but that's not the way that it works.
It'd be real nice sometimes.
Yeah, like, let me chill here.
But I think it's important that we, I think if we as women can get ourselves together, then what we are doing is that we're supporting men.
Yes.
And it's a stronger foundation because our men need us.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like they get beat down every day. And it's not to say that we aren't, you know what I mean?
Right.
But when you are relating with somebody, you have to make sure that you're there to build them up, to keep them strong. Now, if somebody, you know, on the flip side is beating you down, well, then you out, you know?
Yeah.
I ain't saying you stay there for that.
Right.
But I think that when you are not in the right place as far as where you are spiritually and being fed, you know, I think you can be beat down sometimes.
Yes.
And I think it's important that when you are a leader over somebody, it's important that you understand, yes, you have to chastise when God gives it to you, but you also have to build up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just think that those are a couple things that I want to throw out there because I want to make sure that we discuss this, right?
Okay, so we're going in when we come back.
Yeah. we going deep with it. No. But I think that I look at how I was when I was younger, and it's like, okay, you get into a relationship, you know, and you are mistreated, right? So we, of course, we take all that luggage and we pack it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we just keep carrying it. It's like, so I got 15 trains, and I'm talking about a choo-choo train, right? I'm sorry, y'all. I want to make sure I'm clear. But we got a locomotive train full of baggage, and we take that into relationships that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm not just saying because we as women know that we can be catty.
Yes.
We can be jealous of each other, right?
Yes.
But you also can be jealous in your relationship with a man.
True.
And I look at how I was, you know, because I was very jealous. I felt I was so insecure. I'm like, I don't feel like I am pretty enough. I'm not this enough. and I'm not bad enough. You know what I mean? So I take all that time and I beat myself down, and then I want to go relate with somebody.
Right.
So you're relating with somebody with all this baggage and all this negativity, and it's not even a clean slate. You know what I mean? And how fair is that? And I think that you can take that relationship regardless, even into your congregation, of how, you know what I mean? So you're dealing with your pastors, you're dealing with other ministers, you're dealing with your congregation, but you have baggage.
Yes.
You know, and those are things that we're supposed to deal with. You can't just keep lugging that baggage around for year after year. That train gonna get longer and longer and longer, and it's gonna be harder to tug and to pull along. You know, so I think that that is definitely something. So
and the main thing I think we forget about when you have all those insecurities and all those things happening, you forget about the reason and the purpose is we aren't enough, we aren't sufficient enough, but Christ is the one that it's all about Christ.
Yes.
And what he can do for us, and he's there to change us.
Yes.
And that gets lost in the sauce.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Lou?
I'm right here trying to chair, lady. Trying to chair.
So Blue's over here. She's having an OCD moment because she has to. She's trying to straighten up flyers and stuff. I don't know what she's doing.
Gloria a Dios.
She is absolutely crazy.
Yes, she is.
So y'all see my bag? I'm back.
I know it's hard. Like I need like.
I know it's back and forth.
Right.
So ladies.
Hey, Terry.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I think that I would love to hear, especially from the men who deal with the jealous wives, jealous girlfriends. I feel like it does weigh on the relationship as far as the man is concerned, because I know there was a heavy weight for my husband to have to carry because I put all that on him. Like, make me whole, man. That's your responsibility. Well, no, it's mine. You know, it's my responsibility to make me whole so that I can go in and I can relate with somebody else.
I would love to hear from even a minister or another pastor on their perspective on that, because that's a heavy load.
I think it's a lot of responsibility. So how is that fair to men that we as women put on them if our daddy wasn't there? If our daddy wasn't around, then we got daddy issues. You know what I mean? And then we put on, if we were hurt by a man, we carry that into the relationship. We put on, oh, you better not sneeze and look nowhere. Don't you look nowhere. But you looking at her butt? I see you. Well, my God, the man gonna be schizophrenic by the time we get done with him.
They're gonna be a straight
You know what I mean? So I can't turn my head. I can't look.
Wow.
You know, but I didn't realize the impact of my jealousy. I think until I've gotten further into my relationship, you know, and now I'm more mature and I'm like, look, the man chose me for a reason.
Right.
So,
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
He chose you.
He's right. You know what I mean? So
20 years later.
20 years later, right?
You didn't chase him down and say, God said you're going to be my husband.
That's right. You're going to be my husband, man. I think that I would really, you know, if you guys want to put your comments up here, reach out. Let us know what you think. I see some dudes on here. Give us your feedback.
I know, that's right.
Us crazy women.
I know. That is the way you think.
What did I say?
You said dudes.
That's right. Keep it real.
You said you see some dudes. Gentlemen, please forgive her. She meant she sees.
But
men and gentlemen.
We're not jealous. Like, right?
What?
I've never.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. You gentlemen, if you guys are still there, I would love to hear back from you. You know what I mean? The impact that we make as women in regards to being jealous, and you know, what impact does that have on the relationship? And I think it's important, especially when you are starting off in a relationship, to understand, you know, you got to be in it, but you have to be whole. That other person cannot make you whole.
That's fine. I love it. So yeah, so just let us know your feedback. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. You know, what is the thin line between healthy jealousy and crazy jealousy? You know, we're about to drive you to take off.
Welcome back to Diaries of a Pastor's Wife. All right, so we are discussing about the impact on men
Okay.
that we have as women when we are insecure and all this luggage and stuff that we bring into a relationship. Um, and there's women who are not like me, who are just very confident,
Right.
and y'all don't bring no baggage. So God bless y'all. I
want to speak to those women.
Yeah, me too.
We have no baggage.
No baggage.
No baggage. No baggage.
Now, be clear. We know that we do have things. We do have things. We do have issues, but we do know that, as Sister Nixida, Sister Blue was saying earlier,
I'm gonna let y'all see it.
Christ is the reason and the purpose. He helps bring those things to our attention, bring those things to the surface, so that we can put those things off. That's part of our purifying process.
Right.
We once you come into understanding and knowledge, if I'm crazy Maisie, and my husband can't blink, can't turn to the right to the left, all those things are other issues that don't even have anything to do with him. But Christ brings those things, by us engaged in that relationship with him personally. He deals with us personally of all the brokenness that's going on within us. Correct?
Right, and I think when Lady Jim talk about baggage, I have here people say, well, she got 3 kids, that's baggage. That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay, like on a serious note, we're talking about like mental things that we bring into a relationship, like brokenness that we bring into a relationship,
Right.
or jealousy. Like we just met you and we're jealous, but you have never been unfaithful to us. But the last person who was in our life was unfaithful, and now we don't trust nobody.
Right.
I mean, we're the kind of person that go to the toilet and look at the paper twice. We don't even trust our own self. I know that's right. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about trust issues, because we're bringing baggage. That type of baggage is what we're talking about. When somebody have broke you enough that you're no whole, and now you're trying to connect with somebody, but you are like a puzzle. And it's so unfair to men to put them in that situation because they think we're all together and we're a mess.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of baggage that we're actually talking about. We are actually talking about like if men can give us a feedback or how this affect you or what is your experience trying to connect with somebody that you really, really like, but she may be being so broken that you don't know how to deal with her.
Right.
Or maybe, she has so many baggages, meaning she's bringing so many things from the past to your present that you don't know how to deal with it. You're like, she's totally crazy.
Right.
And you're like, it's like I went with my boys, I don't know, to the movies or whatever, and she was questioning me if we got hookers. And you're like, what are you talking about? I was just on Fridays, just having a meal with the homeboys or something.
Right.
That's what we mean. Like when we mean it's like baggage, it's like how do this affect you? Like how do you deal with this? Have you ever been in this situation? I'm pretty sure men always say, this girl is crazy or she's like super crazy. Okay, I'm gonna say this as a joke, but sometimes it's true. Every crazy girl, there's always a man that broke her. But now, how these affect you? How you can deal with this? Like, people is always focusing on the problem, but not too many people want to just jump in to find a solution. That's what we're trying to focus on today. If we're talking about the baggages that we bring, just let us know. Like be honest with us. Like, maybe this show reach hundreds of people that they can be helped by your testimony or by your opinion. Because talking conversation is the key. So just hit us, hit us on YouTube, hit us on Facebook Live. Just let us know what you think. Let us know what is your experience.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I'm trying to get my Facebook people out there. Come on, y'all. Give us some questions. Give us some statements. What do y'all think?
Yes.
I would love to hear from
I see gummy bears on here.
You see gummy bears?
No, not gummy bears. Oh gosh. All right, so what? I guess I'm looking at the root of things. So, and I can't say that, you know exactly where all of the hurt or wherever it comes from or why. It's a majority of women who are hurt.
Right.
And do we allow ourselves, do we put ourselves in situations where maybe we should not be putting ourselves in? Do you know what I mean? So, and I'm sure there are, because, you if we would listen to our parents, there's a lot of things we could have sidestepped,
Right.
and not gotten ourselves into situations. But then
that?
on the back end, once you have gotten yourself into a situation and you're trying to get out of the situation, are we doing that the right way, or are we causing more damage? And one of the things I can say that when I was 20 and I had gotten pregnant out of wedlock, wasn't married, wasn't nowhere near marriage, and I was saying to myself, oh, I just want a baby. I want somebody to love me for me. Love me and accept me for who I am, just wholeheartedly. And it's amazing that, yes, you do, but when you bring that child into the world and they don't have a total, complete family to really round them out, so then the child feels like, well, how come dad's not here? You know what I mean? It's just me and you, mom. Where's dad? Dad doesn't love me. So then you've created another generation of somebody not being whole
or broken.
And they're broken. You know what I mean? But they're broken because we wanted somebody to just love. I just want to be loved.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's gosh, it's so damaging. You know what I mean? I look at the damage that I've caused, right? And and I, of course, now that I'm more mature and I understand and I see that just because somebody wants the best for you doesn't mean you're not good.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they just see that you have so much more potential.
Right.
You know what I mean? Than what you're living up to.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean that somebody doesn't love you, but that is love when somebody wants to push you to be better than where you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that we take that and we want to say, and we want to, spend a lot of time, I'm not good enough. I don't meet somebody's expectations and this and that and that and this. But is that true? Or are you being extra sensitive and you're taking it 15 steps further in your mind to beat yourself down? So you know what I mean? We do that. We're good at that. And that's not just women, that's men too.
Yes.
You want to take it 15 steps further. So somebody says to you, well, you got a boogie in your nose. Then you go in the corner and you start crying and you die. Oh my God, I got a boogie. Why did somebody tell me they don't like me? Do you know what I mean? Like,
or you add to it, they just say you got a boogie. Oh, I'm just the worst thing ever.
And I'm ugly because I got
ugly. My head's too big. My nostrils was too big.
Right.
We just go on and on and on.
We do.
Inflicting damage upon ourselves.
We do.
More so than the initial damage.
And why do we do that? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, I need to figure out, like, I need to have those constant conversations in my mind, like, get it together. Butch up. What's wrong with you? Nobody said you was butt ugly. They just said you had a boogie in you.
Yeah.
Don't be over dramatic.
Right.
I think a lot of people miss that. Maybe the parents didn't instill confidence and just know that you are loved. God made you who you are, and you are loved.
I can't say that because I feel like my parents loved me and they instilled all types of good stuff in me and gave me that confidence. And those are things that I've instilled in my kids. You know what I mean? All the time. You're beautiful. You're strong. You're this. You're smart. Blah. But it's like it all goes to pot. Like, you know what I mean? Because is it family? Because family says it or your parents say it. Does that mean that we're just going to dismiss it? Do you know what I mean? Like, do we need to hear it? You got to hear it first from a celebrity before you actually believe it. Like, what?
Right.
What you know what I mean? What is that? Why when parents try to build up their kids that the kids don't receive it? And I'm even speaking for myself. I'm like, oh, I think I just think in my mind, oh, that's my mom. She loves me.
Right.
But I know my mom is very honest. So like, you know what I mean? So am I just like in this like fairy tale land where I'm just like, and the fairy tale land ain't really a fairy tale land.
But what if you miss that? What if you don't have that? The encouragement and the love and the confidence instilled in you. Then it's
because just think about it. If people that have that messed up, just imagine people that don't have it.
Right.
That's when we need to step up. And maybe we don't even have kids on our own, but maybe we need to be a mentor for somebody.
Right.
Or maybe we need to be, like sister. What is that like? Big sister kind of
Right.
Big sister, big brother.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like maybe we need to take the time to be an example for somebody else.
Right.
Because there is a lot of kids out there that don't have that.
Right.
There's a lot of kids out there that, have never received a hug. Or their mom have never told them that they're beautiful.
Right.
Or somebody have never told them their worth.
So what kind of I don't even know what to say, because it's almost like, so the people that are built up can't get it together, and then the people that aren't built up can't get it together. So what's the answer? What is? I think we need to stop looking at people. Like, we're so engrossed with looking at other people and seeing what Johnny has or what Sarah has, or LaQuisha, So we're so engrossed in what somebody else has and what other people think of us, that the ones that are closest to you that will always be there for you, we dismiss and discount what they say. You know what I mean? When they honestly believe in you. So I think it's a lot of missed opportunity here. Like, what do you do?
Well, let me ask you this: do you feel, as a pastor's wife, do you feel? I know you've grown. You're confident in a whole lot of areas and different things. But what about, do you feel inferior when you are around other pastors' wives?
No, because I don't look at myself
and
as
what
that.
brought that change about?
I don't look at myself as
You have never experienced it.
Like, I just look at myself as being me.
Okay.
I'm just Joy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm
Another believer.
I was getting ready to say I'm a round-the-way girl. Like, no, I'm just like everybody else.
Another believer.
So I'm not uplifting myself to feel like, oh, that's who I am. I am the pastor's wife.
Right.
But I'm still Joy. And I think that I don't always relate maybe with every other pastor's wife. I'm just me. So at the end of the day, some people like me, some people don't. Because I'm just going to be who I am. I'm not changing who I am, because God made me this way for a reason. I'm loud. I'm honest.
Yes,
but I love you and I'm loyal. You know what I mean? So I me being around other pastors' wives, really, I don't feel like I relate a lot. You know what I mean? Because I really try to always stay grounded.
Because you're
In
different.
regards to who I am. And I just like, I'm gonna work alongside everybody else. We got this. We dig up.
You have a humble servant's heart. So,
but it's because of what I was telling you earlier.
What's that?
That I know 2 first ladies that they are different, but the other ones feel to me like they're untouchable. Like you cannot approach them.
Right.
I have been in churches for more than a year, and the most that I have get out of the first lady is a smile. So do you really think I have a relationship with them?
Right.
No. Do you feel like I am able to go and tell them a problem or a concern? No. Because they walk like they walk on water. But so that's not your case, though.
Okay. So, but let me throw this out there, and I want LP and I want Sister Blue in 2 minutes to give me a soundbite.
Okay.
Is the pastor's wife important, or is the pastor more important? Because what I've seen is like people tend to gravitate towards the pastor and leave the pastor's wife off to the side. So
we cannot hit that in 2 minutes. No, if I start talking,
for me, I can.
Okay, so
the pastor and the pastor's wife are equally important. Period.
Really?
Yes.
Because my experience is that people always go to the pastor, and like, you know what I mean, like, well, you know what I mean. I almost feels like sometimes like, well, I'm a little wise. I got some wisdom. I can help. But they go to pastor. You know what I mean, for everything. Yes. I just had a crazy example come in my head, and I am not going to speak it.
Right. But that, I think you're the pastor and the pastor's wife. You are as equally important, based on the pastor is not going to be. He is going to be hands-on as far as teaching the word and counseling and being there. But what I can only say is, as far as you, Lady Jim, being there to work alongside everybody and along with the committees and just making sure things are run well and showing love to the newcomers and so forth. That's very important.
Yeah. James Davis had a great, he said a lot of times the insecurities give people a false sense of security because that's all they've known to cling to when they feel threatened. That's a good one. That's
very good.
All right, Jock dropping that wisdom over here.
I like that.
Oh man. So you guys, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, the Diaries of a Pastor's Wife team, we will continue this conversation. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm so glad you guys tuned in. We're going to take a short break here. We actually are in the studio recording a live,
here and there,
live radio program. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. All right, y'all. Don't leave us when we come back.
I know that's right.
Don't not tune in. Don't take a nap.
So, amigos, gracias por estar en el show con nosotros. Aquí estamos desde Baltimore, en la estación de radio grabando en vivo. Así que le damos las gracias y la bienvenida a aquellas personas que han entrado a la página. Que Dios les bendiga. Le habla de Zaira Madera, alias Blue. Aquí estoy con el equipo de Diaries of a Pastor's Wife desde la estación de radio en Baltimore grabando en vivo. Estamos hablando de lo real que es ser la esposa del pastor, o como la gente ve a la esposa del pastor, si es una persona que mi amiga y compañera de la emisora, ella dice que la gente a veces piensa que la esposa del pastor camina sobre el agua, y que nada, que realmente es una persona igual que todo el mundo, y estamos tratando de romper el prototipo, tratar de romper la idea que las personas tienen de que ser cristiano significa que uno no comete errores, o que uno no es humano, o que uno no pasa por tribulaciones y todas las cosas normales que otro ser humano pasa. Así que nada, manténgase en contacto. Aquí estamos para servirle. Puede conseguirnos en YouTube y puede conseguirnos a través de la emisora de radio, que es Wmskonlineradio.com, Así que un saludo desde Baltimore con el equipo de Diaries of a Pastor's Wife, Lady Joy, and Lady Jem, and nuestra hermana LP Brown. Como vuelvo y les repito, mi nombre es Zaira Madera, alias Blue. Un placer. Que Dios me les bendiga mucho. Compártalo con alguien. Nuestro programa es en inglés. Espero que les sirva de bendición a ustedes y bienvenidos a mi página. Que Dios les cuide. Manténgase en vivo. Amén. Gloria a Dios. I am live.
Is he looking at you?
Yeah. Okay. Right. Look at me.
Well, y'all got a break.
Yeah, because you got it. So I'm trying to let them know, what we're up to. So. Can you hear it? Can you hear yourself, Sister?
I could.
How do I do it?
I could.
How do I do it?
How do you hear yourself?
Hear yourself?
You're not going to hear yourself, so you play back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, while you were talking, I just was.
Que Dios te bendiga. Que Dios te bendiga. Que Dios te bendiga. Hi, Joshua. God bless you. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. We are live from Baltimore. You can always tune in. Wmskonlineradio.com. You can see us on YouTube. We are live from Baltimore. This is Diaries of a Pastor's Wife show. I am right here with the beautiful Lady Jem and LP Brown and me, Sister Blue. Welcome to my page. God bless you all. God bless you, Susana. Un abrazo bien grande desde Baltimore. Te amamos mucho. like and share. Let somebody know that we are live. Um, para la gloria del Señor, aquí estamos en vivo, eh, gozando de sus bendiciones y llevando una palabra a aquel que la necesita. ¿Ok? Nos puedes enviar tus preguntas a través de online o a nuestra página de YouTube, Diaries of a Pastor's Wife. Amen, amen. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Like and share, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. Ok, me puede mandar un email a blue dot or period doapw.com. You can always send us questions or subjects that you would like for us to touch on the air. If you don't want to do it on the YouTube page, you can always send us a private message so we can know what are your concerns or what you think about the show to see how we can make it better and more of a blessing for those who are watching. And thank you so much for tuning in. Yulisa, God bless you. Nice seeing you. Que Dios les bendiga un montón. Muchas gracias por entrar a nuestra página y por estar con nosotros en vivo. Dele like, dele share, permita que otra persona pueda ser bendecido por la palabra que traemos y por las bendiciones que Dios ha puesto en nuestro camino y las puertas que ha abierto para su gloria. Okay, estamos en una pequeña pausa mientras se tocan los anuncios y se toca la música en la radio. Nosotros seguimos en vivo en YouTube. Volvemos en un poquito de tiempo a seguir con nuestras preguntas y con nuestro programa. ¿Ok? Okay.
Oh, no, more.
Okay. Okay. Así que muchas gracias, muchas gracias. Vamos a tomarnos una pequeña un pequeño receso y seguimos con nuestro programa. Si usted tiene alguna pregunta, por favor déjenos saber. Déjenos saber qué piensa, déjenos saber que está ahí viéndonos. Just let us know if you have any questions or if you have any comments. Just send us a message. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's no way you can put pause on this, right? You gotta end it. Because
All right, YouTube. We're taking a short break. You guys can't hear the music unless I played it for you. But we are taking a short break and we will be back shortly. So you guys can hang out or you can leave us. But if you leave us, please come back. We had a great question here, or statement. What question? And I'll read that on the radio live in about 10 minutes. And it's if your husband was called, who called you?
Whoa, that's good.
You're one. You're one.
You're one, but still,
Yeah.
you had. Oh, I'll tell you my thoughts. Ooh, that's a good one.
You see, this is awesome. On our live, it's like, wow, you're so beautiful. Really? God bless you too.
we are Diaries of a Pastor's Wife. Okay. We would love to hear from you guys. We'd love for you guys to like and share all of our pages. And we just want to hear from you guys. You also can reach out to on our website, doapw.com. And we are excited to be back. We were in deep discussion. And it was, I think it's thought provoking, but we actually had a question on our YouTube, and it says, I'm assuming it's geared towards me. If your husband was called, who called you? So we're talking about being called from God, right?
That's right.
Yes.
And I'll be very honest. When I first met my husband, and really started to understand that he was a minister, and he was a youth minister at that point, but I met him, and then God calling him to greater things and more responsibility. I'm not going to say greater things as far as like monetary or actual things you can touch and feel. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a larger call to be more responsible.
Right.
I had to seek God for myself because I needed to know what was it, God, that you're calling for me to do. And I think a lot of it is that I have to make sure that my prayer life is on point, because I need to pray for my husband, and I need to pray for my children and for my family, that we all can gather around and to strengthen the man of God. But then I need to become the woman of God that I'm supposed to be. So I know, to me, it's important to understand God's calling on my life. And sometimes I still feel like, Lord, I don't know what you want me to do. But I have learned that when you put God first and I'm able to support my husband, that goes a long way rather than being a hindrance. Do you know what I mean? So when you're a hindrance and you're trying to drag the man of God down, he can't preach nothing. Right. And there's plenty of times where we done got into some good arguments before service.
Keeping it real.
Witness.
Yes. Some good arguments. And I didn't want to hear nothing. And I was like, I don't want to go to church. I don't want to do nothing. I'm mad at you. Mm-hmm. But understanding that that's not what it's about. When you put God first, you got to sit yourself aside. Right. And that took maturity on my end to really learn how to do that. And I think I'm still learning for myself what my call is and what God wants to do in my life and how he wants to use me. So, I think that's a great question. Because it's not, I think a lot of people want to kind of lump themselves together. So when you're married, just lump everything together. Right. But you're a whole individual. So what are you responsible to?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great question, Lady Jim, because I look at it, okay, God, if he called your spouse to be a minister or a preacher or pastor,
right,
that doesn't necessarily mean he's calling that woman to be co-pastor.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
He's not necessarily calling her to be co-pastor. That's something I tend to see. If somebody's a pastor, the lady's co-pastor.
Right.
So how do you separate? How do you separate that?
I think it goes back to that question that Ms. Joanne asked. If your husband was called, who called you? Or if your wife was called,
right?
And you know what I mean? Who called you? Does it mean that you called yourself because that's what you feel you want to do? I'll be very honest. I've never looked at myself to say, oh, I'm going to be pastor, be a pastor, or I need, or be to co-pastor with my husband. I don't feel like that's what I'm called to do. I feel like I'm more reach out and touch people. Do you know what I mean? Yes. And that, do I feel like God can give me a word? Well, okay, but this is my avenue for that. Right. You know what I mean? Right. There's no competition in my mind, or I'm going to out-preach my husband. No. You know what I mean? Like I think that has to be really looked at, because do I think it's possible God can call a husband or wife? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But do I think it's always that? No, I don't.
So did I miss you saying how you differentiated between God calling your husband and then his call and work for you to do?
Did you miss it?
Yeah.
You missed the last 10 10 minutes of me
That's
talking.
all I heard. She didn't heard nothing.
I was listening to
Yeah,
you.
that's what I heard too, Lady Jeff.
So you were just saying you did not feel like you felt well, that's you. God's calling you. He's not calling me.
I had to mature enough, and I don't think it's not something that I felt was something that took up a lot of time for me to understand. I feel like I understood. I never felt like I was called to be anybody's pastor.
Okay.
I felt like I was called to be a help.
Okay.
But then I also felt like, in the area of singing, that's what I feel, do you know what I mean, on the inside of me. In my area of talking to young women and young people, young men, just being able to interact. Because I know what it's like, you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. You know what I mean? I know how to keep it real. So
yes.
I knew that my comfort level or where God was using me was more so with the young people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And dealing with them and talking and being honest. And I can talk to women.
So you've always had a leadership role, though, within the ministry, even though you weren't felt like you were called to be a stand behind the pulpit minister, correct? But you've always been active in leadership and perhaps maybe
so very honestly,
right?
No, there you go. I was going to say, wait a minute now. Running from leadership, yes. Because it's responsibility, and it takes maturity to lead others. So yeah, I was always running from what? Lead? What? Are you serious? I have no patience. You tell me something, I want it done now. Let's go. Or to sit and to work through somebody's issues. I'm like, oh my God, this is taking too long. What's going on? What don't you get? I just said you need to turn right. Why are you turning left and going around the corner and up and on the ceiling? You know what I mean? So I think I'm coming mighty long way. So I think I understand now as far as the maturity aspect of leading, being responsible, and I think that a lot of people don't understand that when you are a leader, and that means in any aspect, if it's in ministry or if it's, corporately, you're responsible for others.
Yes.
And if something doesn't work out, you're the one that you can't throw everybody that's, helping you under the bus. You take responsibility that you dropped the ball somewhere, and being able to guide others and to strengthen them, I think is important. And I think a lot of leaders tend to miss that, that you're responsible. You can't be a leader if you ain't got nobody that's going to follow you. Right. And if you mistreat everybody that's following you, well, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? So I
like that.
I always say okay, I'm missing that one. That's all I heard. I like it.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I just think I think it's important that I think it's still realizing that when you are called by God, He's not calling you as a unit. He's calling you as an individual. Yes. And you have responsibilities as an individual, but you also have responsibilities as a couple. Do you know what I mean? So it's something that you have to walk step by step, because if I'm not seeking God for myself, then what am I bringing to the party?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Am I bringing a load that my husband has to carry, or whoever I'm working with has to carry? Or am I lightening the load because I'm seeking God for myself and I understand what God is calling me to do? So I think that takes on a whole nother aspect that you have to look at, because I don't think people feel like, oh, I'm married, we're one. Okay, but when you die,
you gotta answer that.
You're answering for yourself. You're not holding hands with your husband in heaven saying, oh God, he can vouch for me.
We are.
Right. No, it ain't no we. It's that individual. You have to see God, and your heart has to be right, and you have to hear what God is calling you to do or telling you to say. You know what I mean? And if you don't abide by those things, you won't go right back, right? It's like a merry-go-round. It's going to keep coming around until you decide to do what you're supposed to do. All right. So I to me, that's what I learned you know, because I've been running for a long time. Lead? What? No.
You know, if we go back to you know, you are to me more approachable. Not because pastor is not approachable, but
Right.
because of the amount of respect that I have towards him.
Right.
There is conversations that I would feel more comfortable speaking with you as a female than for him being a man.
Right, right.
And I don't take any credit from his calling,
Right.
but it's just that you and you know the first lady Caravaggio or the pastor's wife
Yeah.
Caravaggio have made yourself approachable, have made yourself that you know what, yes, I am the woman behind the pastor, but you can reach out to me because you know I got a calling in my life too.
Right.
I got anointing too
Yes,
because
right.
I got a word of wisdom too.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's two different ministries completely. Your ministry is completely different than
Yes.
pastor.
Right. Right.
So going back to what we was talking about, how some first ladies are not approachable. There is ones that they are very approachable too.
Mhm.
So I think that's when it comes to just the first lady breaking all the stigma. Is that
Stigmas, yes.
yeah, the stigma, you know, that she is like, oh my God, this lady with this big hat that's sitting in her first row, and being more that I am human just like you.
Right.
If you have an issue, you can reach out to me too.
Right.
You know, just because I am not the pastor and I'm just the wife, that doesn't mean that I cannot help you also.
Right. Right.
So I think the first lady or the pastor's wife, however it's called, like in Spanish, we will call you the first lady or the pastor's wife is called pastor too.
Oh.
She's not called the first lady. She's not called, you know, it's pastors with an
really?
S. They're both pastors.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
So
Okay.
that is, you don't call her any different than
the pastor.
Yeah, you were like, hey, pastor, come over here. And he said, well, and they will ask you, like, which one is the pastor? Oh, it's him. But you refer to her as a pastor too.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so not everybody will approach her like that. Some people will say, well, she's the pastor's wife,
Right.
but we put the word. It's like one of those when they say, like when one of those terms that you use that include like the man and the woman, like together. When you use terms like they or something like that, it's like both sex. Yeah. Well, the pastors in Spanish is referred like that too. It's like they're both pastors. Yeah, and they're very important. And you would say the pastors, like for example, in the Hispanic church, is the pastors Felipe and Iraida Caraballo. You include them both.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and so it differentiates too when it comes about cultures and stuff. So that's really interesting.
That is very interesting.
You
know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I didn't know that.
So she's called the pastor too.
Yeah, it's like it's all inclusive. I mean, in a sense, I understand what you're saying, because you need to hold them up.
Yeah. So I think they're very, very important, and I think the pastor's wife role is super important.
Right.
Because you are the one who can lift him up, you're the one who see him cry, you're the one, who just see him when he's broken, who see him when he's not strong in the faith.
Right.
And if you are a strong person in the faith, you can lift him up and help him bounce right back.
Right.
So I think the importance of the first lady is equal. I think LP was talking about that it was, I don't know if I misspoke you because it was like earlier, if it was like different calling or something, what it was that you were saying, LP, but I think the importance is like equal. I'm not saying that the calling is equal, but I think the importance it is equal.
So you have a call from God.
Oh yeah,
right.
And it's really important. So I think that the first lady or the pastor's wife being approachable is super important. I have been in the scenario where the first lady wasn't approachable.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know, it felt awkward. Like, I can connect with this lady.
Right.
Because, her hat is too big. Her hat is too big. She got too many feathers. She got too many feathers.
What does the size of the hat got to do with what? Get out of here.
You know what I'm trying to say. Because
what's underneath the hat's too big.
Like you are not above us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But some people feel like, I'm not saying that they are, but maybe their projection is like that.
Right.
Because they expect so many things from the pastor's wife. Like she's like, she gotta be like perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's like an idea that people have put in your mind.
Right.
That's what I love about this show that you're showing. The opposite. I'm real. I'm real. I don't have big feathers on my hat.
I do have some hat with some big feathers.
For special occasions.
That's right.
This advertisement was not paid.
That is funny. But you're right. I think it is. I think it's extremely important because some people, they don't. A pastor's wife, okay, well, you're nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that in a mean way, but I'm just saying. And then some people can take it. Oh, you're a pastor's wife. Oh my goodness, And I think it's how you use that title, and to not misuse it. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like you don't want to run over top of people, and you have to make sure that you're humble.
Yes.
And I think that's important. So yes, I am the complete opposite because I am a hot mess.
No, you're not. You're just different.
I am different.
You're
I'm a
real.
hot mess.
No.
But I think it's important for me to be who I am, because when you're not who you are, then you lose who God called you to be.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to be like Sally and Joe, then you're not being who God called you to be. So you're wasting so many years running from who you really are supposed to be and embracing who God made you to be, because you want to blend in, or you want, and we're not called to be like the world.
Right.
We're called to be set apart, you know, and if we're not set apart, then we're going to blend in with everybody else. So who's going to ever come to me and say that my light's shining,
Right.
if I'm going to blend in with everybody else and I'm not going to stand out from the crowd, you know? And I think that we are so comfortable with blending in rather than standing out and allowing Christ to allow his light to shine, you know? And I never want to be that way. I know that I'm not like everybody else, and I just need to embrace, you know, who I am.
Right.
and I think, you know, me and my quirks and, you know, all the little things that make me who I am. I think it's important, but I don't think it's just important for myself. I think it's important for everybody, you know, because in the end, God made all of us different individuals, and we bring something different to the table. And it's all about reception, about what you can receive, you know? So if people can't receive you, then what's the point?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you just so high and lifted up that, you know, you can't touch nobody, then we're not doing what God is calling us to do, because we're supposed to be the base things of the world, so we can confound the wise. So they don't understand. They don't see us coming because they done said, you know what, you ain't good enough, so we just gonna leave you over there. But when God picks you up and he turns your life around, and then you come and you swoop in and every man's looking at you like, well, that's an anomaly. Where'd you come from? And I think that those are the things that I find amazing what God does, because we have so many testimonies of where God has brought us from. Do you know what I mean? And I think that it's awesome to see how God works, and that he doesn't count us out. And I think it's important to make sure that all of us realize that how God sees us is so different from where man sees us. Man sees us as very small and not making any type of impact, but God sees us greater than all things. And I just thank God for that. I thank God that I was able to, a lot of mess that I put myself in, I thank God that he swept in, was able to renew me. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know?
Lady Jem, I have Carmen watching us, and she said that it would be such an amazing thing if we can translate the show in Spanish for those that do not speak English. So I say, you know, they are Americans, they do not speak Spanish, but I do make some in Spanish, and I hope that they are of your blessing. So she needs some love from you in Spanish. Teach her what you know.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, pollo.
Oh my God.
Carmen, ahí está el
¡Oh,
poquito.
gloria a Dios!
Amén. Ahí está el poquito que la pastora sabe en español. Espero que te bendiga.
So I am going to enhance my vocabulary in Spanish.
Amén.
Amen.
Carmen, la pastora dice que con mucho gusto va a tratar de agarrar todo lo español que sabe a empezar a mandar poquitos de mensajes.
Tell her what we'll do is that once the radio program ends, we're going to make next side go back through and do the whole program by herself in Spanish.
Carmen, me he metido en problemas. La pastora dice que después que se acabe el show me va a hacer que yo lo traduzca completo en español.
She'll be tired by that.
That would be very interesting.
Carmen, que Dios te bendiga. God bless you.
Tell Carmen, thank you so much for reaching out. So what do you guys, for you personally, so LP, your call, you know, you were married and you had a separate calling on your life. What, you know, as far as what God was calling you to do, was it easy for you to separate what you had to do versus like what your husband was called to do, or?
Was it easy for me to separate? Yes and no.
Wait a minute now.
Okay, so that's a maybe? Okay, I gotta record it. So that's a maybe.
You can't choose two. Yes or one.
Okay, the call. Yes, it was easy to separate because I knew one of the things as far as praise and worship, singing praises for God and unto the Lord. I just keep losing my live connection. I'm just gonna quit.
Okay, I got you though.
Okay, so yes, I did understand my call, but then I tried to put in, you know, I had an idea of what I wanted, as far as me and my former spouse to sing together and work together in ministry. But you can. That's not what God has called. It's not going to work. That's not what God has commissioned.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Gotcha.
So I did understand my call in that area, in the area of singing and ministering and song. Yes.
Okay.
Separate. Now, my ex, I sing, I make a joyful noise, but he was a singer. He was a singer. He had that really beautiful voice, really could sing, but that's up to him to fulfill what God has in him, what God put in him and the gifting, and that's on him to meet the qualifications or do the things that God has called him to do. Those are two separate things. So I did understand my purpose, but it was just a lot of turmoil. And it was just a lot of turmoil in those areas, and it was just like I was in the fight of my life when it seemed like it was just constant contention and everything. And by the time I got to church, I always had to, God, I need you to help me forgive me from it. Blah, 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 blah. Now sing.
Have you worked in ministry with your husband, or have you always been like separate, like any of your husbands?
No, not really. Okay, wait. I have to record myself on this. Hold on. Let me switch any of my husbands. Let me just specify. There have been two husbands, okay? Because she made it sound like he was 15. The first husband, I was in ministry. He was never in ministry. He was in church, just acting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Next time.
My second husband, no, I have always worked in ministry, but I think I have always worked by myself. So they have been there physically, but I don't think they have shared either my calling or my desire.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's two different things. I am a born leader.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody who can take that away from me.
Right,
God made me head and no tail, that's for sure. But I have always been the strong one in the faith, meaning, when I yell, everybody get ready.
Right.
People get ready. Yeah, no. So I have never shared that. And I hope, I'm praying to the Lord that, that if I ever get remarried again, that will be the scenario.
Gotcha.
That God just place somebody in my life that have the same calling. I think it will be beautiful.
Right.
That we can share ministry work together.
Right.
That we can go and just minister together, or we can go and preach together.
Right.
You started preaching at ministry. I think that would be the bomb. You know what I mean? So I think it would be awesome.
Do you feel like that maybe not having that mix in like your marriages, do you feel like that maybe that was like a hindrance? Or like for you, was it because you're very strong, in knowing what God calls you to do, and you're gonna get it done one way or the other. But do you feel like maybe that is something that was like a weight in your marriage when you didn't have somebody that's working, alongside you or understanding really spiritually what you were doing?
Yeah, that's why I left them both behind.
Jesus.
Yes. I was in the boat and I was like, what is the name of that thing?
The oars? You were rowing?
Yeah, I was rowing by myself, and I said, look, this person is just extra weight, and I have to throw them overboard. I say, I'm sorry, sweetheart, you either get on the program or you have to get out of the book. Yes, because exactly, you guys are not walking in the same direction,
right.
So somebody's pulling you down.
Yeah.
If you're not helping me to swim,
right,
you're dragging me,
right,
and I'm not willing to just let nobody hold me back,
right,
especially not in God.
Gotcha.
So if you're not in the same page with me in ministry, yes, you staying behind, and I think that's a big part of why my two marriages did not work, because spiritually we was not a match.
Gotcha.
Probably because I choose instead of God. But that's a whole different preaching. That's a whole different preaching. But I think, yes, it was a big hindrance.
Gotcha.
Because even when we are going to church together, but our spiritual life is not in the same level.
Gotcha.
You know, like you right there, pastoring with your husband, and you're right there ministering, and maybe in different ways, but you are right there working alone.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys gonna make it work because you guys are in the same purpose, in the same mentality. But I never had that.
Okay.
I cannot say that I never had that. No, I haven't.
Right.
And I think that was a big part of the problem.
Wow.
You know, I think it has to be beautiful, but I have never experienced that.
Gotcha.
I haven't.
All right. Well, you got your little boyhood and
You guys,
okay, y'all,
let me
y'all
tell
wait a
you.
minute. Let me just say this.
Let me record this. Hold on.
No, oh my gosh. All right,
Okay, let's
so
record this.
now, if y'all don't know, I'll make sure I'm gonna remind you. So
Right. Let me put that
next
camera.
Ida and I went to beauty school together, right? So
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago. So next Ida asked me to cut her hair, right? So she's supposed to be
And
letting her hair.
trim.
I'm sorry, she asked for a trim. So here's Lady Jim's hair do's and don'ts.
Okay.
All right, y'all got this. So when you go to the hairdresser, and you say you want your hair even all around, and your hair is extremely like 20 different lengths.
Okay.
If you want it even, it's gonna get chopped.
Right.
So here's what happened.
Okay.
Next, Ida asked me to trim her hair, but she says in the same sentence, I want it even.
Right. Okay. Let me turn it to my side now. Okay. Even people.
So she's supposed to be letting her hair grow back.
My hair is growing. Okay, this is what happens when you go to a hairstylist and you say, sweetheart, do whatever you want. I trust you. And you let your bestie, you know, without a mirror in the front of you to give you a trim. I was letting my hair grow, but
she ain't got no hair no more.
I don't got no hair. So my daughter say, Mommy, you look like a boy. So the first lady, Lady Jen, say, little boy, come over here. Now she called me little boy. Let me tell you, boys wish they be this cute. Yeah, so no, I love my haircut, don't get me wrong, but that is not a trend. Okay, she kind of, but I love it. She did a great job. You know, she was just a little sister happy. You know, but I'm sure that out there somebody have experienced this where you go to the hairstylist and you say, I just want a trim. And you know, and you're meaning like this. And she called like this. And you're like, lady, that's not a trim. You know, that's like a whole haircut. But I look cute, so it doesn't matter.
That's right. That's right. She's beautiful.
Now it's even.
It's not. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's
now it's even. Let me give you a total look. Hold on.
Oh, boy. Well, they can't. Okay, so people.
I'm gonna post pictures so you know.
Y'all have to see pictures, but it does look nice. But just to let y'all know, we don't cut y'all hair on purpose.
No.
When you ask for a trim, but we want it to be even. We want it to look right.
Right.
So if you end up bald by the time you come out, I'm sorry.
Never trust a hairstylist who do not have a mirror in the front of you.
That's not true because I never like nobody looking in the mirror. I can't stand when people, when I'm doing hair, somebody got to be all in the mirror.
That's
and then they put their hands in their head. So there's your hair don't. When you go to the hairdresser, do not look in the mirror and put your hands in your hair.
First red flag.
Do not do it.
Well,
she did a great job. She just cut a little bit too much.
We got so much. LB's just looking like,
yeah. But anyway, but I look gorgeous. I look gorgeous.
Yes, you do.
Don't be hating on my haircut. I look cute.
I just want to say that I really enjoyed being here with you ladies today.
Same.
Of course, we'll be back at the end of the month to go live again.
Yes.
We will be at the 50 Shades of Blue conference that is coming up on October the 20th. So make sure you guys, step out, come join us, get to meet us face to face. Lady Blue will be there, so that will be a good time. I think we'll have fun. We will be doing live interviews.
Yes.
Yep. So
Peggy, you see this? Peggy's a hairstylist. She's laughing she's like, quack, quack. Peggy's like, I know.
But I'm just excited. And prayerfully, you guys, if you can, please share. Let other people know about Diaries of a Pastor's Wife. We want to have fun, but we want to be honest in our walks with Christ.
Amen.
And know that this is something that's attainable. It's not something that you can't reach. You don't have to be perfect to come to God. When you come to God,
He works on us.
Right, He works on us, and He is the one that is perfecting us. And when we actually look at the etymology and understanding the roots of what perfect means, it means to be complete.
Yes.
To complete a task.
Yes.
It does not mean that we are without fault.
Correct.
But we have to learn to complete the things that we've started. In those that are babes in Christ, please keep your excitement for God.
Yes.
I think that is so important because so many people, they get in and they get amongst people and they lose what their focus is. And the focus is on God. So when we talk about having that mind of Christ, all of us should be working together for the same goal. We should not be dividing ourselves.
Right.
I'm Baptist, I'm Catholic, I'm this.
Right.
But we all supposed to be going either to the same place, the heaven or hell. So which one?
Right.
Nobody said it's only a Baptist hell.
Right. The emphasis is not all the do's and the don'ts. But first of all, you are loved by Almighty God, who sent His Son to sacrifice His life, and He loves us. And that new life or that new birth is just getting to know who you are, how God sees you, how Christ sees you, and then that starts that new journey. That's what being born again means, and it's not coming to church or coming to Christ and being read from head to toe concerning your life and how you look and what you got to do. And I think a lot of people are discouraged when it comes to that.
Right.
Because they feel like they feel like they're not good enough.
Right.
They come to church and they gotta fix things and fix stuff before they come. And
No.
Christ will give you how to fix it. He will deal with your heart and convict you or give you the things, those areas of change. Christ does that.
Yes,
and we just need to change the landscape on that.
Right.
I used to not understand it. The old folks used to say, you're trying to catch you can't scale a fish before you catch it.
Well, that makes sense.
You're trying to scale it before you catch it.
Right.
But no, Christ, the most important thing is that you are loved and He knows who we are and He knows how to have us fix ourselves through Him.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. And I think that, we have to make sure we let God love us.
Yes.
You guys have a great night.
We'll see you next week.
Amen.
Okay. Music.